How we doing, good folk? Welcome to the podcast being presented to you by St. Louis Organics, and this is Who's to Blame with your host, Dre Montez, and this is episode 479. If you follow us on Facebook, we appreciate it. Twitter, what up? YouTube, how you doing? But don't forget, you can always check out our other show, Montez at Midday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, except for this Friday due to college basketball. We're going to come on a little early, like 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Don't forget to visit the website at www.dremontez.com. Let's stay hydrated. So everybody doing okay in the podcasting world. Don't forget, you can always get caught up to our latest episode of our podcast of Who's to Blame, wherever you get your favorite podcast, that we're right there for you, saying what up to all the good folk out there. And also, just in case you don't know, there is a link for all the sponsors on the website. Hit that sponsor link and you get a complete listing of everyone that's involved with the show. We appreciate that in so many ways. So many ways, so many times. Good things coming. But here we are, good folks, at this episode. And there's a lot of stuff going on. Get our sports interest going. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day to all that are involved. The parade was outstanding last Saturday. And also tomorrow is a parade on the Hill, a Dogtown area. So tomorrow should be a lot of fun as well. Look like the weather is going to agree with this tomorrow better than it did on Saturday. Saturday was what they call cold. That was a different type of temperature right there. That was something, I don't want to say unpleasant, but it was something a little different. But I still enjoyed all of it. It was a good time had by all. Trust me on that level. A good time had by all. So today on the show, we're going to talk about tournament talk. Got the basketball tournament tonight and tomorrow and so forth. But we got it there going for you good folks for sure. And the one thing, before we get into that, if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. Happy anniversary. You're just having one of those days, everything that's be going good for you. Good. You definitely deserve it. I got high fives in the building. I got a chest bump, and I got a hug for you. And there it is. It was pretty cool that my friend showed up from Oklahoma City, by the way. We're putting together another trip to get together in Oklahoma City over the next few months. Ever since I found out that the Dodgers AAA affiliate team is in Oklahoma City. What? Nobody gave me the memo on that. Nobody gave me the memo on that. All righty, folks. Tournament talk. Everybody got their brackets. Two of them. Got two brackets. Two. I put mine up on the Facebook page and the Twitter page for you out there to check out. I have, in the women's tournament, I have South Carolina. Go and get it, Don Staley. In the men's, I have Gonzaga, but I'm a Kentucky fan. But I'm just impressed with this Gonzaga program has done the past 15 years and what Don Staley has done in South Carolina. Just an incredible thing on that. I'm going to stay right there with the women's basketball. It's been a long time coming for the women's basketball in college to get the notoriety that they get. You know, they got the referees with fair play, fair pay. They are not called the women's basketball tournament. It's called the March Madness basketball tournament. Hey now. So they're making strides. It's been a long time coming in the field of 68 teams now. Where the women's tournament is at, this is a long time overdue for the tournament. There's still a long way to go. I never thought about this as much as I did today. But you look at the women's basketball teams and the men's basketball team, besides the coaching situation, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know any women that are coaching the men in men's college basketball, but there are men coaching women's college basketball. Is that good for the growth of women that are trying to take it to the next level? When you want to see someone that looks like you, I would really love to know the pros and cons on that. How do you feel about that? Is it fair? Does it make sense to you that the women's basketball teams have male coaches? I'm not talking about the trouble some teams have been into, the illegal recruiting and saying inappropriate things. I'm just talking about overall coaching, the experience. Because at some point you get to a level saying, okay, I can do this too if I see someone that looks like me or have been where I'm from or understands me. And I think that's the realism when it comes to women in sports, to have more of people that look like them. It's a hard job as a woman to be a coach in collegiate sports, coaching the men. Coaching the men. Now they're making strides on a professional level. Right now, we're going to keep right here at the college level. What's going on with women's college basketball? I say in the next 5 to 8 years, we're going to see more women coaches and less male coaches coaching women's college basketball. You've heard the pros and cons of women that have played at some of these top collegiate basketball powerhouses, what they've learned, what they carry on. Then you hear the same thing when they had a male coach. I know a few women that play in WNBA who never had a female coach. And they talk about the experience they wish they would have had a female coach. So I'm wondering, is that like a big ordeal, or am I making fish out of hamburgers? I'm just saying, who's to blame? And who do you have in your bracket? How are you picking your bracket? Are you going your favorite? You're not a college basketball fan. You're just going with the luck of the draw. How Timmy and Becky always win the basketball pool, and they do not watch college basketball. When you have a one and done tournament, I think more success comes from the people that don't follow the sport at all. They don't follow the sport at all. And it's no blame on them. There's over 3,500 basketball programs when it comes to the college level. So I can't say that it's predominantly on the fact that, hey, they need to watch all these basketball games to have a valid opinion or to put in a bracket. No, the bracket's free. Most office parties or bars or your friendly uh, groups, whether you're part of a man cave or a she shed, there are people out there that put a little bit down, but not much, not that much thought. But everybody has a way that they pick their team. Every year I go in it too hard. I go in it, because I watch basketball, but not that much. I pick my favorites, the underdogs. But it gets a little more crazier now. I love the teams that have a story without somebody dying on the damn team and it's get all sad and shit in the pregame and Clark Kellogg then making us change the channel. No, I mean a real good, feel good story about the team overcoming adversity, COVID, the way they had to practice, the traveling arrangements, getting adjusted to the new normalcy in college basketball the past 2 years. And then you get in the game in a situation and you're down by more than 12. But by the looks of that bench, that team looks like they're down by 2. So I like stuff like that as well. And of course, the last second shot. Some of the fans that have been holding on to these programs, these storied programs, the programs that have not had a winning record in the past 10 presidents, that are finally trying to make a way to the Sweet 16, the Final Four, or the national championship game. The Elite Eight is cool, but that Final Four is something else, man. And I love when they say Cinderella has taken off her slipper. It's the pageantry of the game that I like. The talent pool has kind of drifted off a little bit in college basketball back to the days of the 80s and the 90s when we saw more people in college basketball that were going to the NBA and they were ready. But now it's a waiting process. There are different paths that these guys get to play in the NBA. It does not mean to discourage them in playing in this tournament because the NCAA tournament is a lot of fun. I just want to know what you think about that when it comes to the women's basketball team. Should there be more female coaches? Should be just female coaches only for the women? And I don't understand how the men have so many say-sos about the women's conference when it comes to college basketball here. But I got my brackets in. Put your bracket up. Share it today throughout social media, Facebook, and Twitter as well. Well, I think 60 is the new 50 in the NBA, considering what has happened the past few months. I mean, it all started, I think, with D Book. Devin Booker went nuts. Then you had LeBron James getting off. Then you had my dude, Cat, Carl Anthony Towns. Then you had KD. Now you got Kyrie Irving in the building. This could be one of the craziest NBA seasons ever. But I think I summed it up. Not that I have the answers. A majority of the problems with these storied franchises, well, not storied franchises, the ones that tried to do something they thought they were going to get over on people, and as far as what's going on in that front office is causing problems in the locker room and on the court itself, and sometimes the bench. Look at my Lakers, for instance. I don't know how true the HBO Max Lakers legacy is, but maybe some of those guys watching that. This has been a mess and a shit show since Dr. Bus passed away with the Lakers. Real talk. Nobody talks about the fact we won an NBA championship in the bubble. You know how hard that is? You know how hard that is? That's concentration. That is straight concentration. But is this a learning curve in sports? Does this happen every 30, 35 years to a storied franchise when they go through adversities? And the main problem, communication. Everything that happens where there's bickering back and forth, nobody's listening. They probably wrote it on the board. They got their head down in their phone, checking their IG out. But nobody is listening. And the people that are talking, they're yelling. In the middle of the game, LeBron James wants to cuss out his teammates. Come on now, bro. Have you been playing perfect basketball the past 2 years for the Lakers? Have your leadership skills improved? Has your core as a basketball player and influencer improved? I think the LeBron James LeBrick factors kind of went down a little bit for everything everybody found out that LeBron James involved in from his time of saying, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. You've heard stories, how he picks the team, how he's the coach, how he's telling the GM what to do, how he's going to throw you up under the bus, how he put the super team together, how he put a team full of old-ass men together to come out here and try to compete in the NBA now? Come on now. Well, let's be real. Let's be real. Now, when this came together, I didn't say the Lakers were going to go out here and win 50 games. No, sir. But there's no way I thought it would be this bad when you're down by 50 points in the second quarter of an NBA game. Problems. But it doesn't stop there. What about James Harden? What about James Harden? I'm with Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce said, if I would have played with the caliber of players and talent that you had around you, Paul Pierce, would have 5 NBA rings. I think James Harden is – the game of basketball is just something for him to do. He's not a basketball – he's not as involved – he doesn't love basketball the way Kobe did. Well, nobody loves basketball that way. Nobody. Nobody ever will. He has no work ethic. His body fluctuates back and forth, whether on purpose or for attention. He goes to the strip club more than anybody. Now, I don't have a problem with that. But let's say, for instance, we got a team here in St. Louis and Harden in town today to play tonight. He's going to take off tonight. He's not going to go. He's going to the strip club. No, he takes off the day after we go to the strip club. So he's going to miss a game. Every time James Harden misses a game and he shows up on the court just waving at people talking, he went to the strip club the night before. He's not going to play no 5 games in a row. Won't happen. And now the blame game is starting to trickle around when it comes to now. We're getting late in the NBA season. The seeding of the playoff position, the play-in game. What's going to happen? The true talent. When the Nets and the Sixers met up last week, everybody's looking for that matchup, but clearly, the Nets were a more talented team going in there. But you told everybody what Embiid needed. You went and got Embiid, somebody to help him out. You gave up everything to get James Harden. This is the second team to give up the entire bench for James Harden. And what has he done for these teams that he's been a part of? If you think about it, he kind of was the culprit at OKC. OKC, yeah, they know they blew it after that one game. But I never thought those guys from that OKC team would be in this situation right now that they're in right now. That's why I'm at. Now we got to stay with the Nets right now. What's going on with Ben Simmons and Kyrie? Now we know the mandate has Kyrie where he is at. He won't play again the next Wednesday. He went to the game last week, went in the locker room. NBA said, let me get that, $500,000. Let me get that. But what's wrong with Ben Simmons? Please. I don't understand. If I'm going to pay you, you're coming to work. If I'm paying you, you come to. Y'all give a damn you in sports or not. I just don't understand. There's so many NBA players. We don't know what's going on with them, who they play for, if they're going to play, but they're still on the roster. Nobody's seen them. What's going on? They don't give out the true injury report. They hide so many things. I just want to know what's going on with Ben Simmons. That's all I want to know. Not a fan of his at all. Didn't like him in college. Don't like him in the pros. I don't know who he is. I have no clue what Ben Simmons can do in the NBA. Not a clue. I can't take that BS that he did with the Sixers. I can't take that social media made you want to stop shooting the ball. I don't believe that. Has to be more to this story. Like, I still want to know what happened to Markelle Fultz. Nobody want to talk about that? Nobody. You that high in the draft and you forgot how to shoot the ball? Boy, something happened in that little window before the draft. As we're getting close to the end of the NBA regular season, I wish Ja and the Memphis, the best, the Grizzlies, they something else. D-Book and Phoenix, I did not know they were that strong on defending each other when it comes to being bullied in the paint. Look here. And the Denver Nuggets, I don't know how that man play ball like that. I don't know. I don't know how the Joker plays like that dominant and can't jump on a curb. Can't do it. Can't do it at all. I don't know how that guy's that dominant. Yeah, the body, he's wide. You got to get around him. But damn. I mean, he is clowning. Utah doing their thing as well. Chicago Bulls are trying to make a little noise, bring the fans back. Hey, we get here. We know MJ was here. We're trying to do some things. I get it. But my Lakers, this is just awful basketball by a professional NBA franchise that has had some dominant teams. You look in the rafters, you think you had a mausoleum of NBA teams. But the talent on the court is not showing it. Now, we know whether it's on the shop or in a made-for-TV Disney movie or whatever LeBron James, his film company, going to do, LeBron Films. He'll come out with their version on to sum up his 19-plus years in the NBA. Now, I know everybody's talking about the numbers. He's about to pass Karl Malone. Next year, he's going to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You think he's satisfied on the rings and the money and just trying to do the rest, not to do too much, but do enough so he can last and play at least 1 year with his son. That could be a thing, could be a goal for him. We don't know. I guess we will sit back and see and decide from there. I guess we would definitely do that. But in the meantime, I swear to God, I got these big fingers, man. I swear. I hate it. I hate it. Oh, my goodness. People. There we go. We're going to take a little short break here and come right back. Where's my sponsor?
Mountain Man Screw. As smooth as a river flows. MountainManScrub.com. Get your scrub on.
Hey, get your scrub on, and we're back here with Who's to Blame the Podcast, episode 479, being brought to you by our title sponsor, St. Louis Organics. There it is right there, good people. We've talked about a little bit of the tourney talk. Everybody got their brackets almost filled out or should be filled out. A little NBA talk going on, and right now we're going to get into a little bit of the NFL. So you're trying to tell me after 40 days, Tom Brady said, I'm sorry, terrific Tom, looked at Giselle and the kids and said, I can't do this shit no more. I'm going back to work. That's one side of it. But here's the other side. When he announced his retirement, I think he kind of was hoping that the 49ers would swoop him up. Because, you know, he's been wanting to play there since he was a young kid, and he went to the 82 NFC Championship game when Joe Montana hit the white clock in the back of the end zone. That right there. Those are the two different stories coming out about T12. Listen, if you still have that drive in you, the ability to do it, and you can still compete at that level, I don't see what the problem is. You trying to figure things out. I mean, just because you are in that mold of being a certain age and no one has been in that age bracket before for the things that you're doing, you can't automatically just tell them out to go out in the pasture and shoot him. The guy still wants to compete at a high level. It's not saying that the NFC talent is that great where Tom Brady should be scared. The quarterback is in an advantage league right now. You can't touch him. Once they slide, it's a wrap. This ain't like it was in the 70s. They knock a motherfucker out. But now this is the NFL is designed and built for a quarterback to do well. Long as they don't panic, Carson Wentz. Long as they don't forget they have other weapons on the field and panic, Baker Mayfield. But I think T12 and him coming back, never really been a guy who said, hey, Tom Brady this, Tom Brady that. But I'm very observant of what Tom Brady has done in the NFL. And I tell you what, it's downright spectacular what the man has done by the numbers and the way he motivates people. Just by the little bitty things that he does. It's the littlest things that T12 does that motivates people. You know what motivates him? It's the work. It's the work. Baker Mayfield. This kid has been something else since the days of high school. When his father told everybody, hey, if this kid keep drinking, he's not going to make it in the league. Had a few problems in college, running for the cops, dancing, you know, the typical things that a quarterback in college does that has everything. That's what you do. He beat Bama. Cock of the walk right there. Cock of the walk after that happened. Let's get it. Then he comes to the NFL and he goes to Cleveland. I don't know who was in his entourage when he came in the league. Who was he kicking it with? Because him and LeBron had to cut ties. Now, that was that other boy he had to cut ties with. But this guy here, Baker, that was Johnny Manziel had to cut ties with. Baker Mayfield, he needs to just be quiet. Stay off the IG. Please, attention, incoming draftees to the NFL. Stay off social media. Hire you somebody. Hire you a publicist to run it. Just put up the stats, couple of game picks, go on about it. We don't care your thoughts on that. Don't talk about no other teammate. You had nothing to do with that. Don't tell nobody they need to get up. They not on the bus. Just be quiet and play football. Because the proof is in the pudding. You mean to tell me, after everything the Cleveland Browns have been through, Baker Mayfield still think he's the answer to the solutions of their problems? But it seems as though we had a little peek in the pudding yesterday and possibly got a little wink about Deshaun Watson being pursued by the Cleveland Browns. They took a private jet to go down there to Houston to holler out. They'd rather release you and take their chances on a guy with 22 sexual allegations against them who's a brother. Hello. That should let you know right there to just shut the hell up and play ball. Now, I ain't going to say that. But he needs to stay off IG the way he's on IG. I can see if you've had playoff win after playoff win, a loss in the Super Bowl, 2 MVPs, I could see if you had all those accolades, I'd be like, okay, he deserved to talk that way. Because when you make it that far and you lose, I guarantee you, you know what you need to get over the hump. Attention, Buffalo. You know what you need to get over the hump. Attention, Cincinnati. You know what you need to get over the hump. And these teams are going out and getting it. And the teams that are just settling, you fans, you're just going to keep doing the same thing. I'm talking to the fans, not the players. Going on social media, talking about how bad the team is. Why didn't we get this guy? Why didn't we get this guy? Because the people are in charge of most of these teams. Don't want to listen to nobody but themselves, or probably a 12-year-old kid. What did that get you? Washington football team, Washington Commanders? Not too far. Where's Dwayne Haskins at now? On Pittsburgh, sneaking more people into the damn practice facility. See? Not everybody wants to play the game once they get the money. And it shows each and every year across the board in all sports. You can tell who just wanted the money. Oh, he ain't going back out there. No, he good. He good. He good. You can hear it in the voice of all these podcasts by these former athletes. They talk about, when did you know? When did you know the league was – you thought they were hitting soft because you watched the games on TV. Once you got hit, hey, okay. And that's what's going on. Some of these guys haven't done a thing and want so much. Just because you're the quarterback of an NFL team don't mean you can get everything you want that fast, that soon. They got to see what you're going to do. And you've had enough report cards to look at this progress report and say, this is not for you. This is not for you. I tell you what, I don't care what race or nationality or creed or color you are as an NFL quarterback. Find the Warren Moon talk and discussion. Find the Randall Cunningham talk and discussion about playing the NFL quarterback position at a high level with expectation set somewhere you never thought of going before. Try that out for a living and see where that gets you. We're getting close to my favorite time of the year, America's pastime, baseball season. I really don't know what more baseball can do after what they did for the Field of Dreams game. That was phenomenal. The Braves won the World Series. The only thing I don't like about Atlanta World Series win, that bus drove way too fucking fast. We didn't see anything. I mean, throw in the trust tree. And now we've all been yelling and arguing, having our own comments and thoughts about Major League Baseball, Major League Baseball Players Association. Everybody's been putting their opinions out there, up, down, sideways, fuck baseball, to hell with them. They're a bunch of overgrown, selfish, overpaid athletes. Say what you will. But April 7th, our St. Louis Cardinals, home opener, baby. Let the games begin. Let the games begin. And with this team over the years, we had a couple of years bad defense, a lot of damn errors. We couldn't do nothing right. But the pitching has been an issue. Whether good or bad, pitching is a real important key ingredient to another championship run for the St. Louis Cardinals. A big bat. And here's something else I would like to bring back into consideration. Speed. Stealing bases. The hit and run. Going backside. No more shift and DHs for everybody. Everybody get a DH, but no more shifting. I'm telling you. I think this could be one of the most exciting first halves of baseball season we've had in quite some time. And I think the opening day roster for all Major League Baseball teams is going to look so different than what these teams looked like last year, because there were 200 free agents that were looking to get signed last week when we found out that the lockout was over with. There have been a few signings here and there going on everywhere, a few key ingredients here. And also, footnote, I'm glad Pete Alonso is okay. That was a horrific accident. Guy ran a red light and flipped his car 3 times, but I'm glad Pete Alonso is okay. But I don't know what the perfect rotation can be for the Cardinals. I really don't know. Baseball is so predictable and unpredictables, but the numbers do not lie when it comes to proven talent. to not be able to go at least 6 innings in a major league starter, that bothers me. But this new baseball is not looking at that no more. They're not looking at that no more. I don't think we're looking at putting 5 to 7 damn pitchers to complete a game and win it 2-1. Come on. Come on. Small ball wins a lot of games. The years of we had to help save baseball after baseball went the other way, went on strike, and give us a World Series. And the things that baseball allowed, they don't want to talk about today. They don't want to talk about it today. But we know it happened. We all knew it happened, but don't nobody want to talk about it. Okay. It's like that year on Dallas, the TV show. They said it didn't happen. But we watched that whole motherfucking season. We know it happened. So that happened in baseball. Chicks were digging a long ball. Slamma-lamma-ding-dong. Ball jumping out of the park. Then they want to mess with the analytics of the game. They want to compromise the game. They want to speed the game up. And now they're saying that the pitchers in Major League Baseball are too strong. Everybody is throwing the ball 99 plus. Nobody can hit. Strikeouts up. The ball is not going anywhere. What can we do to change this? Make the hitters get better. This is how they taught you in Little League. You get better. They taught you that in all levels of sports. You get better if you can't beat them or compete. Train harder. But now they want to move the mound back. So 1 minute, there's too many home runs going out. They ain't know what to do. Then they mess with the baseball when they changed the baseballs that year. Then they mess with the bats one year. I mean, baseball. Can we come to a simple understanding of the game of baseball? Outscore the opponent in the allotted amount of time, which is 9 innings. That's the goal of the game. Outscore the opponent. But now we got all these different variables all over the place on how it needs to be done and how it can be done. I just missed the game of baseball. I want baseball back the way baseball used to be. But more importantly, I'm looking forward to the opening day ceremonies at Busch Stadium. That opening day baseball crowd is something else. And then this is going to be one of probably the first years. I'm going to keep book for the games this year when I go. I hadn't done that in a long time. I'm looking forward to doing that again. That's a lot of fun. It gives a lot of more interest into the game, involvement, especially when there's no chant going on. And I still don't know what we're going to do about Mama's That Man again. Number 5, Albert Pujols. We don't know. We still don't know. I guess we're still talking behind the scenes to get a completely definitive answer on what we're going to do. But no matter where he goes, I'll be rooting for my man. Best baseball player in my lifetime ever. And he played for our team, St. Louis. There it is, folks. There it is. One more time. Thank you again for tuning in to episode 479 of Who's to Blame, the podcast. And I'm your host, Dre Montez. Let's get the people going. Don't forget you can check out a movie over at the Lincoln Movie Theater in Bell Vegas. That's where it's all at. It's about all that already. All right. All right. I holler at you. Like that. Wherever you may go now. Wherever you may go now.